Good evening, ladies. This is Diane Tuggle with the Happy Scrapbooker, and I'm here today to make a fun fold card with you. This is one that I made earlier today and did a video on. It's called a zigzag fun fold. So it goes this direction and this direction, this direction and this direction. And it has a couple places to sign the card or write a message. And we're going to make it in a different color wave and using some of the other dies and stamps in the pretty florals. So I'm going to, let's see here. Okay, in the pretty florals, the Stampin' Dies, we have some really beautiful dies. These are all the floral dies, and these are all the greenery dies that come with it. And these are the stamp sets. So there's several different ways you can use them. You can stamp the flowers and die cut them with the open die like this. Or you can die cut flowers with embossed detail on them. So there's several different ways you can do that. And again, we're going to be using Sweet Blooms for the word lovely. And lovely is a two-piece die, so it has a background die and then the detail die, and they go on top of each other, glued together. So those are the Stampin' Dies. And then we'll be using the Spotlight on Nature dies. We'll be using these two, the largest that looks like a paper plate and the largest that looks like an eyelet. And then we will be using Nested Essentials. I believe it's the second one in. It's 4 inches across. And this large rounded square. And the colors I decided to use are Blueberry Bushel, Real Red, and Daffodil Delight, and Garden Green. So we will be using a DSP that is from Mixed Media Floral Designer Series paper. And you're going to cut a 3 3/4 inch wide strip by 12 inches long. And then you will need two that are 4 3/4 tall. And the little leftover piece is the perfect size for the front of the card. The Blueberry Bushel, we may use that to outline. I'm not sure. And the Real Red are just really striking colors, especially when you pair it with Granny Apple Green and Garden Green. So I've pre-cut some of the pieces, and we're going to go ahead and score them and put it together. So your first piece of the base, let's see, the base is 8 1/2 inches wide and 4 1/4 inches tall. And you're going to score it You're going to be scoring it at 4 inches. Score. Yeah, this is score. And 8 inches. and 8 inches, and you'll have a 1/2 inch tab that is to adhere the second piece. And the other piece is going to be 4 inches wide by 5 inches tall. And you will also take off a scant 1/8 inch from this paper, this panel, so that when it fits in the fold, it'll have room to fold over, because the fold actually, it takes up space. So you'll understand once I get it in position. Okay, we're going to mark this. The side with the tab is where you're going to adhere the second piece. So you're going to mark this side at 2.5 inches. So take a ruler, 2.5 inches, it's about right there. Okay, now we're going to cut this at an angle. So if this was in the paper trimmer, we would be putting it from the tip of this paper to that tick mark and cutting this part off. So we will do that. Okay, we're going to put that tick mark there and the tip of the paper there. I'm going to bring my cutting blade down to the middle, push it into the paper, up and down. And that will keep you from getting any bent edges. So now you have this funny looking piece that folds like this and like this. And then your 5-inch piece, you're going to mark it, I believe it's it's supposed to be 4 1/4, isn't it? So we're going to mark this piece at this little, just lining it up at the top of this, and we're going to go from here to here and mark this, cut that off so that it looks like one continuous. Okay, we're putting the tick mark in the cutting channel, and then that's the edge of the paper, up and down. And I didn't quite get that. I think it'll work. So we scrap that, and that will go like that. So this is the card base, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it on. And you're going to take it where it is just up to that score line, but doesn't cover it. Get a little wiggle worm here. Okay. Make sure it didn't go out on the other side. Nope. Okay. Then the DSP is a 1/4 inch more narrow, so all your panels are 4 inches now. This is the front of the card, and that's the back. So your 4-inch panels need a 3 3/4 inch mat. And to get this angle, I put it in place. I cut them They were 3 3/4 wide. It was one 12-inch strip, and I cut them at 4 3/4. So there's my quarter. And over here, I'm just going to mark it. And I'm going to put both of these face to face. One will be for the back and one will be for the front. And if you cut it this way, it will work out. Your paper won't be going the wrong direction. So there's my cutting line, my tick mark. Here's the tip of the paper, down, in, and down. And that's scrap. So now, see, one's going one way, it's going the other. And we will go ahead and put these on this. So that goes there. And then this one. Will fit right on there, and that covers up the seam. So there's your back panel, and here's your front panel, and it is 3 3/4 inch wide, and it's just a little bit short. So we're gonna mark it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the trimmer. Here's my tick mark. Here is the edge of the paper. Is that right? Oh, I think I might have done it the back. I did it backwards. Because that's the way I want it, and that's not right. I did it backwards. Let me get one more piece of paper. Luckily, I have an abundance of paper. I have to find it. There it is. I cut that the wrong way. Okay. I cut it the absolute opposite way that I wanted to cut it. Man. Get the brain working. So a 3 3/4 panel, cut it all the way down, and the top of this panel is 3 1/4, so we're going to cut this at 3 inches. Let's see if I cut it the right direction this time. It has to go on the front. So we're going to go like that. Let's see, I think I want my big flower at the top. Will it show? No, it won't show. Okay. This paper really doesn't have a, well, it has an up and down direction, but not an all over direction. So we're going to cut, sometimes this helps. And we're going to cut off that part. So that's the piece that I want, and I'll save those just in case. And we'll try it again. So we're going to put that in there, and that in there. That. Did I get it all? Yeah, I still see a little pencil mark. So luckily I can erase that. And I can throw that piece away. The other piece was a little on the skimpy side because of the way I cut the other two. What I was going to do was outline and make a border around it with this and put it on the front. And do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. I just want the red. We have plenty of blue showing. Okay, so this is going on the front. Sorry, ladies. Sometimes I think I have it all figured out, and then there's so many steps that no matter how simple I try to make it, my mind goes blank and I forget something. Okay, here is that. So here's this, this, and this. So these are the Spotlight on Nature circles. And we're going to put 2 of them this time to give it a little more support. So in other words, one on the front and one on the back, and sandwich them in between like so, just to give it a little more oomph. So you don't want your card to go over 5.5 inches. Put our ruler up here. Our 5.5 inches is right at that line. So what I'm going to do, I need to put this on. It goes up to there. I'm going to lightly, I'm going to center it in this panel, and I'm going to lightly draw my circle. Can you see it? So then I'm going to put my wet glue right there, and I'm going to put that circle right there. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I learned that these the little ridges around the edge of this, they're actually open, so that wet glue does come through there. So try not to get it there. So I'm just backing that with another circle for a little bit of strength. So there's your zigzag base. Okay, let's do the inside of the card. So on the inside of the card, we're going to be putting "Have a lovely day," and I have to decide which color background I want. Okay, and I think I'm going to add a bow this time. So we're going to put a panel right here for you to sign your card, and on that we're going to stamp. So I'm going to practice my stamping right here. I already stamped my leaves. Oops, I forgot my yellow ink. Okay. I'm using Daffodil Delight, and I've stamped that already. Where is it? Sorry, ladies. No, it doesn't. That goes on. I don't need the big one. Okay. It's a 2-part photopolymer stamp, so you can see through it. And we're going to stamp full strength and then stamp off, and then put our flowers. They line up right on the top of the stems. And then we are going to do the detail part, which is this, and we're doing that in full strength. Like so. Ooh, that's so pretty. So that's what I already did right here. That's my little practice sheet. You see, as it dries, it kind of changes color just a little bit. Let me go ahead and do the second one so you can see. Stamp off. There we go. So that as it dries, it's going to lighten just a little bit. I just wanted you to see that. I dropped something. I don't know what it was. Sadie, you don't have it, do you? Okay. So, let me put this yellow ink away. And we're going to put this right here. So you can sign your card. And then we're going to do the inside. So I have this yellow one, background, and I'd have to glue these together before I put them in. I wanted to see what they look like. Do I want the yellow and white? That's very pretty. Or do I want blue with white? The blueberry bushel. And I don't know, I think I like the blueberry bushel. We got a lot of yellow going on, but we got blue going on too. I think we'll do the blue. So I have to glue these 2 layers together. You could use an adhesive sheet when you die cut this, and then that it would make it a sticker. And you just peel off the backing paper. But just a few dots of glue around here. Okay. I should probably do this on top of a silicone sheet, but I'm gonna be brave and just glue them together. Okay, there's the word lovely. And I stamped have a day, which is right here, have a day. And I'm going to cut it up and put have a and day at the bottom. So I have one already done. Here's day. Have a lovely day. So we're going to go ahead and glue this one down so we can work around this when we put the verse in, put our other words in. Okay, this fits in here, and right now I've got an overspill of glue, but it will dry clear and it won't be shiny. And if you put this emboss and buddy thing over top of it, it will help it also. So if it was on the front, I would pop this up, but since it's on the inside, we're going to keep it good and flat. And we're going to follow the angle of this card. Have a lovely day. And that's the inside. And now we're going to put something right here. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to make a blue shadow. I'm using Balmy Blue ink and a blending brush and a scrap of paper, and put it right there, and start in the middle and just blend out, and the darkest will be in the middle where everything hides it, and then it will blend out. And that will lighten also. Let me show you the difference. So this one was done about an hour ago, exactly the same way. And you're thinking, ooh, that's dark, but it's going to lighten up, I promise you. And we're going to put that one right in there. I got a little ink on my finger. And of course it got on the paper, so I'm going to use my ink eraser, which is a sanding eraser, and just lighten that up a little. Oh, it won't make any difference. Okay. So now I have the other one goes on the front. And I will do that. And then we have this banner piece that's going to go across the front of this. This one is 4 inches long, and I've already stamped "You Make Me Smile." So we're going to put that down on dimensionals. And two more. And we're going to bring it up over top of the circle right there. Just back in the tray for another one. And now we're going to decorate it with some blue flowers. That they could be poppies, they could be tulips. I'm taking liberty here with it being artistic liberty with them being blue, but I just think that blueberry bushel is so pretty. And I used the little stem, and that's in Granny Apple Green. I used the double-sided two-tone paper. So this is the same paper, but it has a dark side and a light side. So here is the dark. You turn it over and it's light. So you get a lot more for your money with the two-tone paper. Okay, we're going to put 3 of them here. Kind of reminds me of like the Dutch-inspired art with the bright colors and the tulips. So, like that. And now we're going to put those up on dimensionals. Put 1, 2, and 3. And this one I see it's going off just a little, so take that off. Okay. Gonna put that one right there. The two of them are slightly smaller than one. One is a lot bigger, so I'm gonna put the small ones on the side, and I'm gonna put the big one up here. So have a lovely day, and you make me smile. And now I'm just gonna glue that to the side, and we're gonna cut another flower. So I'm gonna put that like that to the side, and then I'm going to take my dies and I'm going to show you if I can get hold of the paper. So 1, I'm going to cut like that, and the other one I'm going to put on the back side of the paper when I run it through, and it will be lighter. So hold on 1 second and I'll show you what I mean when I cut it out. And the good thing about it is you get 3 flowers at one time with this die. So you don't use all 3 of them. You can put them in your die cutting stash. And you get 3 of the centers also. Okay. So one of them's decided to stay in. I'll poke it out. So you get 3 flowers and 3 of the, well, the bases. They're not really centers. Flowers go on that side. And so we will go ahead and that together. And just stick that. It's just as simple as that. Just tuck it into place. There we go. And then we're going to pop that up. And we're going to give it, there we go. So here is our card. And you could put another label right there to write on. You could put it right in here if you wanted to. We're going to add a couple of gems. Let's see. We have these clear gems right here, the iridescent ones. And we're going to put a few of those. One small one. These are self-adhesive. Large one. Itty bitty. Them on there. So there you go. That is, I think it does need the bow. So we're going to put the bow on the front. This is a double bow made out of really soft white organdy ribbon. I need my glue dots. Where'd the glue dots go? So I think I'll press the ribbon in that. And I'm going to put it right at the stem, middle stem. And I'm going to tuck a little glue under there too, in case, and press the ribbon into the glue in case it decides to, in case the glue dot decides to let go over time. So there we go. I love those colors. I think they're really, really elegant. Open it up, and then there's some yellow inside too, and you can sign it right there, right there. Just write a note. Let me put the other one beside of it that we did earlier today. So we did, get my junk out the way. We did the stamping and die cutting, and we did the die cutting in layers here. So there's so much you can do with those stamp sets and dies. And lots of fun fold techniques, or even just a plain top folding card or side folding card. This is not the same stamp set, but very similar. So this one is Impressions of Bloom. And you can see the detail in this stamp set and die set. So I'm having a giveaway in the month of May 2025, the last day of the month. I'm giving away a stamp and die set called Impressions of Bloom. Where are they? Where are they? I think it's right here. Right here. You'll be getting a brand new one. It has some really nice words. I appreciate you. Thanks so very much, or for being there. And it has beautiful dies, and it's a polymer layering stamp set. This is $54, I believe, value. And what you have to do to enter the contest is go to my Facebook private group page called Diane Tuggle at the Happy Scrapbooker. You have to ask to join because it's a private group. And when you join, scroll through, you will find a post that says challenge. You can post the picture of your card there. Just for making the card and posting it, I will be sending you a package of Stampin' Dimensionals because you went to the trouble of doing that. And on the last day of the month, in May, 10 p.m., we'll be pulling names for this. I think I have 14 people in there right now. So I hope that you will check out my Facebook group page and like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is absolutely free. And it really does help me a lot. So thank you for watching, ladies. I appreciate you. And if you need anything supply-wise, my shopping website is in the description box, along with a link to all the supplies I've used. So have a good evening.